Howdy, folks. This is Ray Benson of Asleep at the Wheel.
This is David Allen Coe, and you're listening to Mojo Nixon.
This is Jason Isbell, and Mojo Nixon is a Daisy Duke wearing meth head.
Right here in Outlaw Country
on SiriusXM.
See a man stand on a dead dog by a highway in a ditch, looking down so slow, pulling the dog with a stick. He's got his card up open out on Highway 31. Like if he stood there long enough, the dog get up and run.
Mojo Nixon here, SiriusXM Outlaw Country. My guest today is the great Jerry Raney from the Beat Farmers. The Beat Farmers' first album, Tales of the New West, has been re-released in a deluxe edition, and the Beat Farmers are going to join us on the Outlaw Country Cruise. Hey, Jerry, how you doing?
Great, Mojo. How's it going, brother?
It's going great. Now, me and Jerry known each other since 19 Bubba Ba-Boom, so if things get sideways, I'm blaming him.
Yeah, it's my fault.
I tell you what, this package of the new record, the record sounds great. The package looks great. There's a whole booklet in there with the whole history of the beef farms. It's really good.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, and I'm really enjoying the Live at the Spring Valley Inn part of the CD. You know, the second CD. It's like, it's just so funny to see all the, well, not see, to hear all the old banter and stuff like that in between the songs. And there's so many songs on there that the Beat Farmers didn't play once we got going strong, you know, like old things like seeing Country Dick doing, or hearing Country Dick doing Lonely Blue Boy. And, you know, I did the Elvis song, you know, Trying to Get to You.
Right.
And there's a few Buddy originals that never got on any albums and stuff.
Right. There's a couple of them on there. And what I was hoping was on there was Mondo, one of the nastiest songs of all time. And it is on there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know, that's great.
We're talking to Jerry Raney from the Beat Farmers. The Beat Farmers' first album, Tales of the New West, has been re-released. Y'all got all kind of great songs on there. You know, you got a Bruce song, you got a Velvet Underground song. Hey, you know that Velvet Underground song? You know that's just Hitchhike, right? You know you knew that, right?
Yeah, that's why we changed it. We took that part out of there, you know, and I said that just made the song a ton better, you know, instead of dun 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 dun
right.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's like, but every time I hear that part, I think, you know, I kind of like to do Hitchhike someplace in there or set.
You know, there's so how did this? There was two Paul Kamansky songs on there. One, California Kid, was obviously written for Country Dick. Bigger Stones. Where did that one come from?
I don't know. It was like Dick just showed it to me, and I don't remember.
Did he have a demo maybe? Did Kamansky make like an acoustic demo maybe or something?
Yeah, he must have, because I had to have something to listen to, but I don't really remember what it was.
You're not saying you're getting old and things are getting confused, are you?
No, that was when I was young.
And confused. Where did y'all make this record at?
Well, we did it at the Capitol Records, the big round building in Hollywood, and did all. We went in there and played it all live there.
Did y'all play it in the big room or one of the small rooms?
No, it was the big room,
like where Frank Sinatra was recording. Like I've been in that room, I think.
Yeah, it was a nice big room, and it had that great sound to it, and until we ruined it, So.
And who was producing the record?
Steve Berlin and Mark Lynette. Steve Berlin from Los Lobos, who was a great guy to have there. It was like he was funny, kept it loose, and kept us comfortable, kept telling us to go out there and hurt ourselves.
Did y'all have to do a bunch of takes, or because y'all have been playing these songs live, did it come pretty quick? It
came pretty quick. I mean, we did a couple of takes on most of them, but we just kind of breezed through like we were playing a live show, not really trying to be too perfect or anything, because we couldn't do that anyway.
And did Raleigh ever have any notes of like what key the song was in or what the chord changes, or was he just on the fly?
I didn't remember him writing down any notes, but we had to pump things into his head a few times, And when we joined the band, he'd only been playing for like a year. But, I just told him, all you really got to do, Raleigh, is be solid. What we really want out of a bass player is to be solid, just make sure every note's really there, nice and loud and thumpy, and you don't have to be anything special. You don't have to be some funk bass player,
Well, and right, to link up with Country Dick, the bass goes boom, Country Dick goes chuck. Boom, chuck, boom, chuck. Here we go.
That's about it.
We're talking to Jerry Raney from the Beat Farmers. The new Beat Farmers' first album has been re-released, deluxe edition, and it's got a whole little booklet in there that's got a lot of those crazy little posters and drawings that Country Dick did.
Yeah, what was really cool is how Country Dick did those calendars, when we first started going up to LA and playing and stuff like that. And he'd make calendars of the month, and they'd all have themes, like one of them was a TV guide, and I remember he had named all these different shows and stuff. And one of them was Romper Room Fever. And Buddy and Raleigh discussed the joy of lit farts and snot bubbles.
Yeah, I remember there was something about the Cricket Pie Festival out in one of those desert towns out by El Centro. Yeah. Country Dick was constantly making stuff up, but people would believe it.
Yeah, him and I, when we first started the band out, and people would interview us. It was usually him and I that did the interviews, and we'd play off each other a little bit, And I lived in that town for a while. I was born in El Centro, and I lived in Holtville for a while. And they had
Holtville, yeah.
Yeah. They had the Carrot Carnival and the Carrot Day Parade. And then we just kind of made up that, we were the official tasters in the cricket pie contest, and then, in the first almanac, I think it was, that Dick was trying to figure out stuff to do in there. And I said, well, but make recipes, and then so the recipe for cricket pie is just hilarious. It's like, mash the crickets, remove the legs and set them aside for later, and mash the crickets up into a paste, then once it's done, just arrange legs on top decoratively. And then head cheesecake was a great one.
Country Dick was so enormously full of shit. It was, you could never tell. Is he joking? Is this real? What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, I know. That's like in those interviews, these people, we'd just be totally pulling their legs, and they would actually print this stuff in their magazines. And then we just get the biggest kick out of reading back, just going, well, he actually printed that,
I think when I first met you, Country Dick was going to a bunch of your shows, Jerry Raney and the Shames, and he was trying to decide if you two could form a band together. Country Dick was still in the Penetrators, and he was doing the Snuggle Bunnies, but he wanted to do something else. When did he first approach you about doing the Beat Farmers?
Actually, it was the last Snuggle Bunny show, and they were playing at Bodie's,
Right.
And Marilee and I were there, and we were watching the last song, and he was doing A Fine Time to Leave Me, Lucille. Of course, he was standing on the top of a table. And so at the end of the song, he starts yelling, you picked a fine time to leave me, bunnies, because the band was breaking up, and you picked a fine time to leave me, bunnies, don't leave me, bunnies. And he just face planted off the top of the table onto the dance floor, just with the microphone underneath him. So it made this huge loud noise. And he's laying around slobbered on the floor like he would do a lot, but he's, don't leave me, buddies, choke, sob, whimper,
Yeah, that's what, because Joey was going to go to Australia and be a superstar or something.
Yeah, right. He was got signed to MCA, and a couple of the other guys were moving out of town, But anyway, he's not laying on the floor, and then we're cracking up. And then after it was all over, I walked up to him and I said, well, Dick, if people in town are getting signed to record labels, and I think that what you're doing is so entertaining that, I think that you stand a better chance of making it than a lot of them do, really, And he took the compliment and stuff. And about a week later, I got a call from him on the telephone, hey, Raney, I want to start a musical mobile pleasure unit. I'd broken up the Shames at that time too, so he knew I was available. And then the funny thing is we decided, let's give this a try. And he said, well, I want to take you to see some people. And, one of them was Buddy Blue, who I'd seen a few times with the Rockin' Roulettes.
Right.
Usually he was pissed off at something, they yelling about something at the gigs. And I was like, this guy's a real hothead, but then he's playing these songs. And I thought, I'm going, I never really heard these songs before, but they, he must have just found them of some small rockabilly blues guys.
Right. They sound like Carl Perkins songs you never heard before. Right.
Yeah. Right. And then all of a sudden I'm going, where are these songs coming from? And he's going, well, he wrote them, And I was going, okay, well, that's a pretty cool thing. Is what do you think about this guy? And I'm going, yeah, I think he's cool. I think we should get him, but meanwhile, the Penetrators there at Bodie's. We were watching them at Bodie's, and the Penetrators were at the bar. And so the music's going, and I'm yelling really loud, like, yeah, this is cool. We should get this guy, and then he's going, shh. Don't know what's going on. And I'm going, man. And he had told Buddy, when I talked to Buddy later, he told Buddy, play all your originals and just really kick ass tonight, because I'm bringing this producer from Hollywood to check you out.
Now, I remember I was desperate to be in the Beat Farmers. I was telling Country Dick, I'll learn to play bass. He goes, there's only room for one monkey in this show, and I'm it. Yeah. If
you guys were both of the Beat Farmers together, I don't know what I'd have been doing.
That'd have been a little too much chaos. It worked out fine. And for people that don't know, Country Dick was a consummate entertainer, from drinking beer with his feet like a bear to, to surfing he would make the crowd take him to the bar to get drinks.
Yeah, I got some stories about that, man. It's like, there's been some really wild times that happened. It's like one time we were in, it was Des Moines, Iowa. The first tour we were on, we went to Des Moines, Iowa. And that was just the weirdest thing. The whole deal was, first off, they had a white reggae band open for us.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Hulkafarians, yes.
And then there's we had to go, they didn't have a backstage at this place. We had to be all the way diagonally across the room in this, the office, So it's time for us to play, and we're walking across the room, and it's got quite a few people in there and everything. And there's these three girls sitting at a table. And meanwhile, the announcer announces this way before we get to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, from San Diego, the Beat Farmers, and people clap, and then there's a bunch of silence. And one of these girls at the table goes, Beat Farmers, big deal. And then Buddy and me kind of look at each other and go, what the hell, and then she does it again, like 3 or 4 times before we start playing. And, people are kind of laughing and stuff. We're not feeling too comfortable, and,
right.
And Buddy's looking at me going, be ready, man. Have your guitar ready for a weapon, that kind of stuff. And so meanwhile, we play, start off, we do about 3 songs. And after each song, Beat Farmers, big deal, And so we're getting, Buddy's getting more irate as it goes, you know, and I'm just kind of looking around going, uh-oh, what the hell's going on?
No,
So
Buddy was a noted hothead.
Yeah.
It didn't take much to get him going.
No. And then, so then all of a sudden it's Dick's turn to get up and sing, you know, so he's got a cordless microphone. And so what's he do? Of course, you know, he goes out and sits on these girls' table. Dick sits on their table and he goes, well, I say our first time here in, you know, in Des Moines, and a lot of nice people and stuff. And, you know, and by the way, what's your name, honey? And she goes, Karen. And he goes, who gives a fuck? And the whole place just busts out laughing because I think they were sick of her too. You know, they liked the band.
Right.
They're going, what's this chick hassling them for? You know? So her and her two friends get all uppity and leave, you know? And then Dick, of course, goes, you know, well, now that we cleared the deadwood out of here, we can get the show moving, you know, we do, you know, like Happy Boy or something, you know, and he works his way back up to the stage. But meanwhile, these two big, like, linemen for, you know, the college football team
Right.
are in front of the stage. And they've been looking at Buddy and me and giving us these looks like, you know, we're going to kick your little asses or something, you know, and you know, Buddy's meanwhile, get your guitar ready, man. We're going to have to slug these guys with him, you know. And so Dick gets up there, and this stage is high, you know, it's like, say it's probably, you know, at least 3 feet high, you know, and Dick gets up there and starts singing, and these guys start shaking up. Oh, he's talking, and these guys start shaking up their bottles and squirting them with him, you know, and that was early in the thing. People weren't really doing that stuff with us too much at that point, you know, but these guys were just being jerks about it, you know. So all of a sudden, Dick just jumps off with his legs wide and lands right on this guy's face, you know, his crotch right in this guy's face. The guy's falls backwards on the floor, you know. Dick, meanwhile, just lifts his legs up. His entire weight lands on this guy's face, you know. And then the bouncers went out and grabbed the guy and throw him outside. And his friends just standing there like, what the hell's going on? What do I do? You know, and Dick just back on the stage and goes, I need a pony to take me to the bar. You'll do. And grabs the guy's head, twists it around, and jumps on his shoulders. And the guy takes him to the bar because, like, he's a big old brute, you know. And he takes him to the bar. And Dick looks at the bartender and goes, "Hand me that bottle of Jack Daniels." You know. And meanwhile, everybody's doing whatever the hell Dick's telling him to do, you know. And so they hand him the bottle of Jack Daniels, and he goes, "Any of you people want to play Baby Bird? Because I'll feed you." And everybody's standing next to the bar. Their mouths open. He's just walking down the bar, pouring Jack Daniels in everybody's mouths. And he goes, "Where's my pony?" And you take me back to the stage. And the guy just joins the show. His
Country Dick is a great big motherfucker too. That's another part of the story, right?
And so he just all of a sudden the guy's friend is out of the picture. He's kicked out, but his guy's like, he's Dick's pony for the rest of the night. You know?
Yes, he's going home. I'm Country Dick's pony, the world famous Country Dick's pony. We're talking to Jerry Raney from the Beat Farmers. Beat Farmers' first album, Tales of the New West, has been re-released in a deluxe edition. Also, they're coming on the Outlaw Country Cruise. Let's hear the song Bigger Stones right now. We'll come back and talk to Jerry more. SiriusXM Outlaw Country.
Sometimes I wanna fall asleep and die off in a dream. The music takes me back to my own past when I was young and feeling mean. And as I stare through the spotlight, it's like traveling my God. We had the girls in the willow
That was the Beat Farmers off their first album, Tales of the New West. I'm Mojo Nixon, and my guest here today is Jerry Raney. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Mojo. Hey, everybody.
Hey, man, that sounded great. That was recorded back in 19 Bubba Boom. Still sounds great.
Cool. Yeah, it's like people like that album. It's kind of charming for a bunch of rodents and stuff playing on it.
And you guys are going to play on the Outlaw Country Cruise, which will be about a year from now. But unfortunately, Country Dick and Buddy Blue have moved on to the great beyond. So who's going to be playing with you on the cruise?
Oh, so we got the other guitar player, Mr. Joey Harris, great songwriter, great singer, really talented dang person that took over for Buddy and was actually in the band, 3 times longer than Buddy was. So that's Joey Harris on vocals and guitar. And then Raleigh Love, the original bass player, will be there. And myself, Jerry Raney, and then our drummer, Joel Kamak, who we call Bongo, Joel Bongo Kamak, who was always, in high school, he was Country Dick's next door neighbor. And, but other people don't know that they played in a bunch of the same bands. It's like before Dick was in the Penetrators, Joel was the original drummer. And then, Dick was in the Crawdaddies for a while, and so was Joel. And then, of course, Dick would go over to Joel's house, and Joel's dad would give him beer when they were underage and stuff,
No.
People like to give Dick beer. Remember when he was in the hospital and you snuck him in a 6-pack? It was like,
oh, yes.
Bad.
Country Dick was a force of nature. He was like, Country Dick would make your whatever your worst impulses were, Country Dick would multiply them. Come on, what are you fucking pussy? Come on.
Yep.
So and y'all will be able to do some of those Country Dick and Buddy Blue songs on the cruise too, right?
Oh yeah, we'll do them. We'll pull out Guns Down at the Church and probably a few of them.
Right. My piano player, Wet Dog, he was auditioning. He wants to do California Kid. He was auditioning on the phone for me the other day. He knew the whole damn thing.
Is he going to be there?
He'll be there. Yeah.
Well, let's let him do it, man.
Yeah. So, and I think there'll be a bunch of artists that and some of them are going to want to sing some of these Country Dick songs, and and celebrate the greatness of the Beat Farmers.
Cool. Well, you got to do a couple of songs too.
Yeah. Some of those songs I wrote with Country Dick. King of Sleaze, Drinking With Me, Jesus. Though the story to that. Country Dick claimed that he didn't write it, that he found the lyrics or something. Somebody wrote that whole song. He just stole it, but he didn't tell me.
The story I got, and I actually saw the thing that the lyrics were written on a bar napkin,
right,
in Kansas City, and so that's the first thing I heard of it. So maybe part of his story is true,
Well, I think he had a sheet. He had a sheet and he had it folded over, and the folded over part said written by Lou and Peter Berryman. I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
I didn't. But anyway, yeah, we'll do some of those songs. Now, one of Country Dick's most famous song is Happy Boy. It's on the first album. Well, are you playing on Happy Boy? What are you playing?
I played drums on Happy Boy, which means I was hitting the bass drum and the hi-hat with my feet. I didn't play anything but my feet, So, but my main instrument was the beer gargling.
Now, were you playing the kazoo too, or is that somebody else?
Buddy played the kazoo on that one. Yeah.
On that one, oh.
Yeah.
So, how do you do a beer gargling solo in the middle of a song?
Well, I didn't have to use my hands, so I'd always have 2 beers ready, because like in the studio when we were playing it, I tried to gargle with a fresh beer, and it just all foams up in your mouth.
Right. So, you did it live.
Yeah.
You did the gargling live. You didn't come back and overdub the gargling.
I don't think I did. Yeah. Well, I did it live, but you can overdub it too. But I don't. Like I said, it's that's 35 years ago, man.
So you had
in the studio.
So you poured a beer in your mouth and it'd foam all out and make you look like a rabid dog, right?
Yeah. So I figured out that what I needed to do is have one beer that's almost finished, and then shake it up, to get rid of some of the foam, And then I'd still have another beer I could grab later, but I would use the one I shook up so it wouldn't have so much foam in it. So it would actually the gargling be more pronounced,
And are you hitting notes in the gargling? Are you playing part of the melody?
Yeah.
And anytime, did you ever get choked doing this and either have a verp, or where you had to spit it out or anything?
Oh yeah, that happens sometimes. I usually tried to hit Dick with it if I had to spit it out, though. He'd be in front of me. What's funny is the video for that on the railroad tracks up in L.A.
Right.
If you go on YouTube, there's a pretty cool little video of us doing Happy Boy out on the railroad tracks, and the part where I'm gargling, Dick standing above me, just pouring more beer in my mouth. It's pretty dang funny.
And when Country Dick would do songs like that, I remember if a place had picnic tables, he would just wade onto the picnic tables and kick everybody's drinks off.
Oh yeah, he did that all the time. That was really funny because that really famous club up in North Hollywood, the Palomino, where everybody,
right.
right. God,
the famous
Johnny
country
Cash
place, right?
Right. And so they were foolish enough to have the tables set up picnic style, all in a row, just pressed against each other like a big long line, going right up to the stage, with no dance floor. And these tables went right up to the stage. And it was kind of funny because they were, the bouncers and, the security were all serious about everything. But then all of a sudden, Dick hits the stage, So what's the first thing he's going to do? He just goes right down that whole line of tables all the way to, till where they ended. Just, telling people, you want those drinks, you better grab them, And then, so he's walking on top of the tables. And it was amazing how he hardly ever ate it. He'd have, 10 shots and 10 beers. And meanwhile,
who knows what else? Yes.
Yeah. He's got cowboy boots on and he weighs 240 pounds and he's 6'5" or whatever. And he's just tiptoeing across all these tables. And it's like, you hardly ever fell off. But if you did, it was funny as hell,
Well, he was really good as an entertainer. What he was good at was making a hard thing look impossible. So what he was doing was hard, but it was like the guy who puts his head in the mouth of the line. There's a lot of production around it. And I don't know, was it a Beat Farmer show at the Spirit where Country Dick stood up on the table and the fan hit him in the head? That might have been a Snuggle. I don't know if that was a Beat Farmer or a Snuggle Bunny show.
I'm pretty sure that was a Beat Farmer show. That happened a couple of times across the country. There'd be a fan and, one time it hit him in the head and knocked his hat off. That was probably at the Spirit. And then another time he lifted his beer up and it knocked it out of his hand. And luckily nobody got it hit in the head with it, And really funny when we were playing someplace, the outskirts of Chicago. And they had the biggest disco ball I'd ever seen in my life. The thing was like 6 or 8 feet across. It was just huge. So we got the place totally packed out. Everybody's drinking like pigs. Dick's standing on this table by the disco ball. And he goes, that guy, I wonder what would happen if I headbutted that thing. So he decides to headbutt it and the thing falls and hits the dance floor and breaks into a million pieces. He's like a Christmas ball on a Christmas tree or something. People are all jumping out of the way. Luckily, nobody got hurt. But the thing just, it just broke into a million little pieces. They all like the little 1-inch by 1-inch mirror pieces that are on there. And I was just like, going, man, I wonder how much that thing's going to cost us, but they didn't charge us for it at all.
Oh, they didn't charge it.
Yeah, they made so much money on booze. They're thinking, well, God, can you guys come back?
That's how great the Beat Farmers were. They didn't charge you when you busted their disco ball.
Right.
We're talking to Jerry Raney from the Beat Farmers. The re-released first album is called Tales of the New West Deluxe Edition. And it's got a whole second CD of the Beat Farmers live at the Spring Valley Inn. And just saying the word Spring Valley Inn makes me feel high and drunk right now.
Really, yeah. And the place is still going, man. It's still open, Mojo.
And the Beat Farmers are going to be on the Outlaw Country Cruise next year. Hey, Jerry, thanks a lot for being our guest. It was great talking to you, man.
Thanks, Mojo. Always great seeing you. Nice talking to you. Thanks, everybody.
Here's Jerry Raney and the Beat Farmers doing Happy Boy. Outlaw Country.
I was walking on the street on a sunny day. Hubba, 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 hubba. A feeling in my bones says I have my way. Hubba, 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 hubba. Oh, I'm a happy boy. Oh, I'm a happy boy. Oh, ain't it good when things are going your way? Hey, hey. My little dog Spot got hit by a car. Hubba, 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 hubba. Put his guts in a box and put him in a drawer. Hubba, 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 hubba. Oh, I'm a happy boy. Oh, I'm a happy boy. Oh, ain't it good when things are going your way? Hey, hey. I forgot all about it for a month and a half. Hubba, 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 hubba. I looked in the drawer and started to laugh. Hubba, 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 hubba. 'Cause I'm a happy boy. Oh, I'm a happy boy. Oh, ain't it good when things are going your way? Hey, hey.